Dead by Daylight has their entire community outraged once again, not because their live stream was an absolute mess, but because of their response to this popular content creator. A new licensed killer seems to have been leaked, but it may not be who you think it is. The Streetwise exploit has been patched, but now there's a new exploit terrorizing killers. All that and more, but first, an announcement. Hi, I'm Straz. All across the realm, there are killers hungry for kills. These killers are suffering, sometimes going 2, 3, or maybe 4 gens without a single hook, and they need your help. For the simple price of 1 subscription to this channel, you will help these struggling killers get the gen regression they deserve. If you subscribe in the next 60 seconds, we'll send you a picture of the killer you've helped, and we'll let them know it's time to stay in the loop. So if you guys missed it, this past Monday, Behavior held a live stream with one of the actors from The Walking Dead. So I usually don't watch these things, but being the founder of In the Loop, the #1 source for Dead by Daylight news, I figured it was my responsibility to tune in. And yeah, there's really no easy way to put it. This stream was an absolute mess. So for those who missed it, essentially they brought on this actor. What's his name? Chandler Riggs. So Chandler Riggs came on from The Walking Dead, and he was going to play Dead by Daylight with some other content creators, which was already kind of like a weird, awkward crossing of the worlds. It's always interesting to see like actors or celebrities, and I don't know if Chandler's technically a celebrity, but then playing with like Dead by Daylight celebrities, it's like, yeah, it was an interesting dynamic, but I thought it was going to be a fun watch. It seemed like it was going to be interesting to watch some games. And essentially, right as the game started, they were lagging, and everyone just DC'd like immediately. I was kind of confused at first, because Otz was like DCing immediately. He's like, I know what's going on. We gotta start up a new lobby.
I think we know what's happening here.
And they did that a couple times, but it became clear, and Otz actually started to say it. What was happening was hackers were joining the match and then DDoSing the IP address. So Otz gets to a point where he's like, hey, in order to fix this, I know what to do. You basically have to get people to fill the spectator slots so the hackers can't join and get the IP.
Fill up the lobby so there's no room for any invites that can flood this.
Apparently, this is what they had to do for some of the tournaments to prevent this type of DDoSing. So originally he's like, hey, let's get Behavior to come in and take some spots, but they don't do that. So then he starts bringing in his mods. But as he's doing that, Behavior is kicking his mods out. So it was just an absolute mess. And what's crazy is apparently people had told Behavior that this was a problem, and potentially that they could expect something like this. So you have these creator run tournaments, and they're using all these measures to make sure the tournament runs smoothly, but then Behavior can't do it for this big live stream where they bring in an actor from The Walking Dead. It's kind of crazy. There's actually a clip that surfaced where Chandler is telling Behavior, hey, Otstarva's in the mic, and he's telling me we need to bring in people to fill these slots, and they're like cutting him off. Like, that's not the problem. We'll figure it out.
Ots was saying that like if we fill up the lobby completely with spectators, but is that not going to work?
No, not for what this is.
Okay. Gotcha.
Obviously, they're frantic, but like they knew the problem, Otstarva and some of the other streamers there, and they still didn't fix it. And the stream in general was a mess. Like when Chandler got on, his mic was like incredibly distorted. Like, I'm not a live stream pro, but like when I collab with people, the first thing I do is I do like a mic test. Like I have them count down from 10. I listen back to their audio, see how the levels are, make sure they sound good. Like that, I feel like that should be like the first thing you test. And then his mic was like echoing, so you hear the echo back. Like it was just a chaotic stream. And while they're getting DDoS, the games keep on going down. Everyone's getting more and more frustrated. They're running these like pre-recorded segments of them trying out. It was like Chandler trying out different Behavior games, and even those felt like a little bit unprepared and like not edited well. Like if it's already pre-recorded, like just edit it down. I don't know. They could have probably done the whole thing pre-recorded. Like they didn't necessarily have to do it live. So yeah, people were pissed off, not really at the fact that hackers were coming in and like DDoSing like the servers. They not saying they can't control that, but like that happens. Hackers are terrible. People are more pissed at the way they were treating like Otstarva, for example. Like he just kind of looked helpless, like trying to say how to fix it, while Behavior just kind of ignored him. So yeah, a lot of people are upset. Hens took to Twitter and said, I'm at a loss for words. Mainstream DBD streamers have had their game servers DDoSed for so long, and we found how to outplay it ourselves. Yet somehow this entire struggle hasn't managed to reach the devs at all. He breaks down how the cheaters cheaters do it, but then he goes on to say, huge shout out to Tofu and his tourney staff who took the DDoS threat very serious from the very beginning and managed to host an entire tourney while being very aware of the threat. They filled every spec slot the entire weekend to not let cheaters disturb the event. Like, this is a creator run tournament and they're taking measures that behavior is not even doing. And Dead by Daylight did try to do some damage control. They came out with this long apology, apologizing to Chandler, apologizing to the creators, because yeah, it was just really awkward for the creators. They explained that they tried to troubleshoot and adapt in real time, but they were unable to. They said they had their security team on hand and they weren't able to prevent it. But it's just really hard to believe that because they have someone there on site telling them what they need to do. Like I mentioned that clip, Chandler is talking to Behavior, who's right there, saying, hey, Odstarva's telling me what we need to do. And they're kind of just brushing him off. And again, I know that they're probably panicked, but it's just not a great look. Yeah, and it's just pretty sad that other creator tournaments are doing it better than Behavior. And speaking of creator tournaments, there's been a lot of drama surrounding tournaments as of late. So Otofu held his tournament. Essentially, they just, they had teams and they streamed different rounds. And it was kind of like comp DBD. Like, I don't watch a ton of comp DBD, but it had the same format of like hooks and gens complete, and each team had a specific killer. And I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty fun to watch. I didn't watch every round, but I did know a few of the creators that were participating, so I tuned in. That kind of stuff to me is like just nice to kind of have on when you're like at work or maybe you're doing something else, and especially because they have the commentators that can kind of fill you in, and then for the big moments you can watch. Super cool. It seemed to go off without a hitch. I mean, everyone was kind of commenting how much better it went than Dead by Daylight's live stream. But now there's another tournament that's about to start, and there's a ton of drama surrounding it. So the creator Mish, who was actually on the live stream with Otstarva and Chandler and all the Dead by Daylight folk, she's doing a tournament of her own. So she announced who would be participating in this tournament, and I guess there was a lot of backlash around it. Now, apparently everyone wanted to fight on Twitter while I was streaming, so I didn't see like the majority of this. I did catch like a good chunk of the conversation, but all those tweets have been wiped by now. So people are upset they didn't get picked for the tournament. And I get it, you know, like, if you wanted to participate in it, you didn't get selected, it sucks. Like, shit, I didn't make my fair share of basketball teams. Like, no, you know, it doesn't feel good. But yeah, it seemed to get a little bit like vicious, and then it got brought back on Mish, who's like, you know, like, she's just holding a tournament. Like, that's already like stressful in its own. And she was saying she had like thousands of people to pick from. It's like, yeah, you can't pick everybody. I'm sure she would have wanted to, but like, that's obviously not a reality. So yeah, she got a lot of backlash. People were asking, like, people were saying, like, why didn't you pick people that speak languages other than English? She mentioned there's people that speak other languages. I'm not too sure who on the list speaks what language. And for some people, like, their friends got in, but they didn't get in. So there was like a lot of back and forth where people were like, I'm upset. This isn't right. Kind of vibes. Like, I don't know. I really don't want to like put anyone's like tweets up or like call anyone out specifically, because again, it seems like there's a lot of like hurt feelings around this. And again, I like, you understand both sides, but I guess it shouldn't come back to Mish, who's organizing this whole event. Like, I don't know a lot of people personally on this list, except for my boy Bleak. Come on. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's like 20 people total. Like, you can't pick everybody. It seems like a pretty good group. Like, very popular, like Twitch streamer. Like, I basically know everyone on this list, not personally, but like I know who they are. And for events like this, especially because this is charity, I believe. Yeah, like you need big names to pull in a decent sized draw. But who I'm not sure is gonna pull a decent sized draw is Bendy if he comes to Dead by Daylight. So there's been like a slight leak. I don't know if we could say this is confirmed, but it kind of feels that way. So the Bendy by Daylight channel tweeted out, since you're replying to some people, please tell us if you're joining Dead by Daylight. Pretty please, let our dreams truly come true. And then Bendy, the official Bendy Twitter responded, dreams can come true. Which, like, I don't, are they supposed to be like leaking this? This feels like them saying, yeah, like, we are coming to Dead by Daylight, which is interesting because the style of Bendy is like a little cartoonish. But I guess it's not that far-fetched because we have like Kaneki in Dead by Daylight now, and like people are saying like once Kaneki and Springtrap and Vecna are in, like everything's out the window. Like, but Bendy is kind of horror from what I know. I watched like a playthrough. I haven't played Bendy, but it looked like intense. It was like killing and shit. So looking at the year 10 roadmap, it's a little confusing on where Bendy fits in. So it is announced that they're going to have 1 licensed killer and 2 licensed survivors in September. But me personally, I don't feel like that would make sense for Bendy. Now, I did watch a Bendy chapter concept. It was by a channel called Deerhound Productions. And in their concept, they had 1 killer and 2 survivors. So maybe this is the September chapter. But if I were to guess, this is more of a 2026 project. It's also been speculated that maybe it's just skins and it's not actually a new killer. But let me know, is this something that excites you guys, Bendy coming into Dead by Daylight? I'm not gonna lie, personally, I never played the game. I knew who he was, like I recognized the figure, but yeah, I didn't know too much about Bendy. I don't know if this means anything to anybody, but there actually has been a lot of people that come into my chat asking me about Bendy, and like I'm indifferent. I was like, yeah, it would be cool. I mean, again, any licensed chapter is gonna bring new fans in, but there's probably bigger draws, I would say, than Bendy. So let me know what you guys think about that, and I'm gonna let you guys know what I think about this new exploit with Finesse. So they patched the Streetwise, they patched the Blood Rush exploit. Last Stand is still kill switched at this point, but there's a new exploit around Finesse. So if you pair up No Mither and Finesse, you basically are able to use Finesse as many times as you want without a cooldown. I actually had a game where someone was abusing this, and it was pretty cool. The survivors ended up body blocking him. I was able to hook him, and then they ended up just like letting me kill this guy, hook him. They would unhook him, I'd hook him again. So yeah, they basically just body blocked this guy so I could down him. And then when he was on hook, they were just like teabagging him and stuff. And it just goes to show, like, both survivors and killers alike are tired of these exploits. I would say this one's not as game breaking as the Streetwise bug. So hopefully it doesn't take them like 3 times as long to patch this. And apparently, I'm not sure about this, but somebody said that once you get down, the bug no longer works. So once you get down the first time, you can no longer abuse Finesse. But these people have no shame. In my match, they just immediately dropped a pallet and the guy was just hitting Finesse, like flexing on me. Let me guys know, have you guys run into the Finesse bug yet? Are there any other bugs you've noticed in Dead by Daylight that they still haven't addressed? I don't know. I'm just getting a little tired of them. These bugs are nothing new. And if you want to know about all the exploits that recently got kill switched, you can watch this video right here.